Hello, and today we're going to do a quick overview of Dynamics 365 for senior living. So I'm going to start on the mobile app, and I'm going to talk a little bit about how someone who is maybe an outside seller, someone who's visiting seniors in their homes or seniors' families in their homes might use this app. I'll also talk a little bit on mobile about how someone who's a community director, someone who interacts with seniors and their families at communities, talking about tours and events and that sort of thing might use the app. Then we'll switch over to the browser as well. So if I am someone who's an outside field kind of person, I'm going to use this personal assistant to do things like get email reminders. So if I send a contract out to a senior, maybe their family, I might want to just get a quick reminder to sort of say they haven't replied to the email, they haven't opened the email. That data is going to be coming from my Outlook. And then if I have an agenda to visit some seniors today, it's actually going to aggregate all of the people I'm going to interact with. So if I know that I'm meeting with Jack and Elmer and Rick, I can just jump to their records right from this personal assistant. In addition to that, if I'm the type of person who tracks sales with estimated dates of closing, it can let me know that one's coming up. And then all of the things that I have on my agenda today, tasks, phone calls, meetings, it's going to aggregate that in the personal assistant. And then there are going to be reminders here, sort of little ticklers that let me know, hey, you didn't complete this task or this needs to happen. And that could be related to opportunities as it is here, or it could be related to tours, visits, whatever that needs to be. So this personal assistant that sits on top of the mobile app allows me to quickly and easily know what's happening with my day, the people I'm interacting with, and all of that fun stuff. Now, behind that personal assistant, there is a dashboard that sits on the mobile app, and that dashboard can be set directly to me. And on that dashboard, I can pin records or I can pin lists of things that are important to me. So, Marion Cunningham, maybe she is a prospective resident that I'm meeting with today. I can have a list of my activities. If I go over to the right, I can look at maybe some service cases that are related to some health related issues that are important to me. But really, any of the reporting information that I want to have, dashboards and whatnot, that can be on this mobile app. And all of the things that I would want to do, maybe jumping into Marion's record to kind of know more about her, I can do that from the mobile app. So I can really know who my prospects and my residents are directly from the mobile app, whether I'm an outside field seller who's trying to get someone to move into one of our communities, or if I'm someone who works at a community and I just want to know more about one of our residents. So the things we're doing with her from an activity perspective, um, things that she's doing, and then in addition to that, maybe just knowing some things about her and her preferences. So all of those are available to me on the mobile app, whether I'm a field seller or if I'm someone who works in the community related to her, knowing her preferences, knowing the types of things that she likes, interests that she has, all of that fun stuff. The other thing I can do is if I am running a tour or if I'm helping people with a move-in, what I could potentially do is I could have a sort of checklist that goes through all of the different things that we need to do in order to make sure that their move-in is going okay. So here's me at a specific community helping Dennis Mitchell move in, and I can just go through and check off the things that are going right, check off the things that aren't going right, the things that are being done. And this can be related to move-in, this can be related to tours, whatever. So this mobile app really enables you, either someone out in the field visiting seniors and their families, or someone who is inside a community working with your residents and your prospects to do as much as I can on the go. So now let's take a quick look at the browser experience. And this is where I can get some higher level reporting. So if I'm an executive and I want to look at our sales pipeline, I can look at a funnel, or if I have goals set up for my team to sort of say, this is how many phone calls you need to hit this year. This is the number of appointments you need to hit this year. I can track their goals and where they are to date. I can also look at my referral sources, Place for Mom, Caring.com, all of those different things. And in addition, CRM allows you to build out some functionalities that are related to other workloads that you have. So if I want to look at tour conversions, and that's what I'm looking at right now for specific communities, I can do that. If I want to track things like unit inventory to kind of see, how many units do I have open, how many move-ins am I having per month, those are things that CRM can assist you with. From a sort of lead to move-in perspective, if I look really quickly at a lead, and I'll look at Sean Kell real quick, I can just track high level information about Sean. I can have his activities related to that lead-in process tracked here. Stakeholders, so it may be his son and his daughter. And then if I integrate to my website, I can track the types of things that they look at, and then I can score those. So I can come up with a sort of aggregate score of the types of things that they're most interested in. Up at the top, this is what I call my scorecard. So if I want to look at where this lead came from, the rating, and then the need, assisted living, independent living, I can do that. This is tracking Sean as a prospect, as a person who might be interested. Once we get to the level of someone who they're very interested, maybe they're scheduling tours, I can actually embed within the application all of our processes. So here's the process up at the top. We introduce ourselves, we get engaged, we commit, we move in. And as I go through this process, I can check off specific things that are happening. I can track how long each person is going to be in each stage of the process. And I can also do things like I can build scoring mechanisms around here. So once we've identified the need for this particular person, I can have the system go ahead and aggregate that action up to improve or boost the score. You can see it went up to 23 from 13, just based on the things that we do. Other things I can do, I can have timers related to things like when did we first contact them, when did they visit us, did they sign, and I could kind of count my staff down to that. Tracking everything related to this particular potential sale, and that can include all kinds of things like if they have a second person moving in with them, if they have an influencer, son or daughter, or other relatives who are related to them, and then also any other details I want to track, things like who's on the sales team, who are our competitors, and then also things related to potentially documents and what have you. So I have the ability to have documents sent out via DocuSign that can be signed, and then those documents will live up against this record once those contracts are completed. So just a quick overview of what Dynamic CRM can do for senior living. And if you have additional questions about CRM and senior living, feel free to reach out to us at sonomapartners.com.